All right, continuing on with the word problems. Problem number 17 is a mixture problem. Clue says mix. What am I mixing? I'm mixing walnuts and pecans. So I'm going to say that X represents the number of pounds of walnuts and Y is going to represent the number of pounds of pecans. Okay, now when we read the problem, it says that the walnuts are worth $2.52 per pound and pecans are $3.80 per pound, and we want to make a 480-pound mixture that's worth $3.44 per pound. Notice that we have a total of the combination of the mixture, so this makes this a total value type of mixture problem, meaning we have the total of the two combined mixture items. So the first equation in a total value type of problem is the sum of the two things you're trying to mix is equal to the total of the mixture. So the number of pounds of walnuts plus the number of pounds of pecans is equal to the total number of pounds of the mixture. So that's X plus Y equals 480. Now the second equation is a value equation, meaning how much is each worth. So the pecans are worth 380 and the walnuts are worth 252. So 252 is how much each of the walnuts is worth per pound. So times the number of pounds, which is X, plus 380, which is how much the pecans are worth per pound, times the number of pounds Y, is equal to 344, which is the price per pound of the mixture, but you need to multiply it by the number of pounds in the mixture. Notice it says per pound, and there's 480 pounds. So here's your two equations. Go ahead and multiply out the 344 times 480, and when I do that, I get 1,651.2. From this point, I tend to use substitution, so I'm going to solve this equation for Y. So I'm going to subtract X, so you get Y equals 480 minus X. Of course, you could say negative X plus 480. It's the same thing. Now I'm going to replace into the second equation where the Y value is. So 252X plus 380 times the value of Y that I'm substituting, 480 minus X, equals that amount when multiplied, 1,651.2. Now it's just a matter of solving for X, and you can get rid of the decimals if you prefer, but it's not necessary. So I'm going to distribute 380, and when I do that I get 1,824 minus 3.80x. Collect your like terms here. That's going to be negative 1.28x plus 1824 equals 1651.2. Subtract 1824 from each side and you get negative 172.8. Divide by negative 1.28. And we should come up with a positive number, and luckily we do, and it's a positive whole number, 135. Okay, to find Y, I'm going to substitute back into that original equation, and I'm going to use the easier of the two here. So Y equals 480 minus 135, so Y is going to be equal to 345. Answer the question. How many pounds of each type of nut does he need? Well, we knew that he was going to have more of the pecans than the walnuts because the price per pound of the pecans, 380, is closer to the price per pound of the mixture, 344, than the price per pound of the walnuts. So 252 is further away from the mixture price than the pecans price. So we know we're going to have more of the pecans, and you see that we do. So we want to have, and just say, we need 135 pounds of walnuts and 345 pounds of pecans. And you can write that in sentence form, or you can just label it this way. Okay, number 18 is a different problem than the one on your review worksheet. I told you I would replace that problem. So let's read it together. A bookstore took in $167 on the sale of 5 copies of a new cookbook and 3 copies of a new novel. The next day, it took in $89 on the sale of 3 copies of the cookbook and 1 copy of the novel. What was the price of each book? So X is going to represent the cost of the cookbook, and Y is going to represent the cost of the novel. Okay, now we need to decide, this is a mixture problem. We're combining two different things, a cookbook and a novel, and is it going to be a total value or a value type of mixture problem? Well, you'll notice we don't have any total of the two individual prices of the book, so it's not a total value problem. It's a two separate sales, which is similar to that two package problem. So the first receipt on the first day is 5 copies of the cookbook, which is 5x, and 3 copies of the novel, which is 3y, and that totaled $167. The next sale was 3 copies of the cookbook, which is 3x, and 1 copy of the novel, which is y, and that equals $89. So now what we want to do is solve that equation, and you can use a variety of techniques to do so. I will probably multiply this bottom equation by -3 to eliminate the y's, so I get 5x plus 3y equals 167. That first equation does not change. Negative 9x minus 3y equals, and let me multiply this out, 89 times -3 is negative 267. Okay, and now we will add. So the y's will eliminate, and I get negative 4x equals negative 100. Divide by negative 4, and x is positive 25. We'll substitute back in. I'll plug into the bottom equation here. So 3 times 25 plus y equals 89. This is 75 plus y equals 89. Subtract 75 from both sides, and you get 14. Answer the question, what's the price of each book? Well, the cookbook is $25 each, and the novel is $14 each. And so you've answered the question.